Paint and Chips here again, doing another time-lapse acrylic painting for you. Today I am doing the Hulk. Again, playing a whole lot of Marvel Rivals, really inspired. Unlike my Iron Man video, this one I was inspired to do because this is my main character. I love the Hulk. When it comes to Marvel Universe, I may not be the biggest Hulk fan in the world. I don't know every version of him, or why there's a red one or a gray one, or when he loses his banner and he goes nuts and destroys Asgard. I do love the Hulk, but I'm not the biggest Hulk nerd in the world. That being said, though, this is my main. I love the Hulk. He gets in there, he fights, he does damage, he takes the brunt of damage for your team. And with a good healer, he stays alive long enough to mitigate most of the damage for your team. Where his health and his damage reduction goes a very long way, unlike, Psylocke or somebody. He can stay in the fight for a very long time, and then when he needs to get out and get healed, he can do that really, really fast. So, I love him. The way that I'm going to be approaching the Hulk today, it's like most of my other paintings. I block in all the main colors. I take them one at a time, usually all the greens and all the blues. With the Hulk, he doesn't have too many variations in colors. He's mostly greens and blues, and I'm going to use blues for his armor just because I do a lot of miniature painting also. I do Warhammer, and believe it or not, my main faction are orcs. And so, this is a great way to kind of approach the Hulk. So, just kind of like an orc miniature, I'm kind of take it the same way. I'm going to do it one stage at a time, go from darkest to lightest, do the armor after the skin tone, and then finish off with everything that's like a little bit extra, kind of like the browns and the blacks and the little highlights and stuff. So, my question to you is, do you like the Hulk? I know I like the Hulk, but do you like playing as him? Do you like fighting him? What do you find annoying about him? I know what I like about him is he's hard to kill. How do you fight him if you have to fight him? I have one really good tactic that's for most of the tanks in the game, and because it's a very good tactic, I don't think I'm going to share it with you. I don't need any more Namors or any kind of guys on the field, countering my Hulk, because the guys that know how to do it pretty darn good. So now that I've started the armor on him, I'm starting with grays, but that's just how I do the colors too. I'm going to start with the darkest and move up to the lightest. I want the blues and the whites to kind of be like a non-metallic metal, so I'm going to probably do most of those last, and do most of my block colors first, and that's how I would approach a miniature, or my Iron Man, or any other painting that I would do that has this so much division, saturated, dark, but popping away from each other types of colors. So since I've been doing video editing and audio editing lately, trying to get ready for the series that I'm starting, what do you think about the music that I'm using? I've been trying to use a very specific type of music for the character that I do. So with Iron Man, I did like more of a cinematic kind of uppy rock pop kind of a thing. I'm thinking with Hulk, I just go pure rage rock kind of, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find metal so much, but, you know, more of an angry kind of rock theme. I think I have plans of doing Luna Snow, probably some Jeff, just because of how popular it is and how much I like to play the guy. So is that a good idea, or should I like maybe I don't want to like say Neebs Gaming or like another channel that you let's see, what's another channel that you might know like specific audio from and how they use the same audio over and over? Would that be a better approach, just using maybe the same 3 to 5 tracks to set the mood for like time lapse? Or do you like the idea of specifically for the character that I happen to be doing at the time? I like that idea just because it sets a tone. It might be annoying with some characters though. As an artist, if you've never tried non-metallic metal on miniatures, this is a good way to approach it to start out with. Of course, you have a big surface and you can kind of let your imagination flow, but the hard thing about miniatures is kind of grasping your head around something so small that does so many different things. It's a fairly complex type of art style. I wouldn't say it's hard, but you kind of have to know what you're doing to make it look right. But if you're doing a painting this big and you establish shapes right away, you already know in your head like what you're going to do with the shapes, just maybe like how you would a miniature, but here you have so much more room to work. And if you make a mistake, you can just go over and over and over it, and all you're really adding is texture to the painting, where on a miniature, if you keep going over and over it, you're removing texture from your miniature. So if you've ever been interested in kind of like trying non-metallic metals, I highly recommend you do like a small painting on canvas just to try to get your feet wet. And a good reference for it, and it's kind of retro, and I don't know, maybe you don't agree, is have you ever seen like old renditions of chrome in like hot rods or hot rod artwork? A lot of airbrush artwork used to use like chrome looking imagery, and if you can relate that same style to like the metals you're working on, and just by changing the tones and the colors that you're using, it's a real easy way to make a very authentic looking metallic surface without really doing a whole lot of what do I say, like research and work yourself. It's a good way to get to the end without having to really figure out what you're doing. So try looking at like old chrome airbrush from from the 60s to the 1980s and 90s. I think you might be inspired. And at this point, I really had to try the eyes and the mouth a few times just to kind of get them right. Hulk has a very specific kind of tone to his looks, and it's kind of hard to replicate if I'm honest. I don't think I quite hit it. I think if I was going to spend a little more time on something, I'd maybe flesh out the real expression his face was trying to make. Maybe a little more grimace, a little more eyebrow to try to show anger. I really do like this painting 90% of the way, but I definitely think the character is face needed a little bit of work, and maybe a better hairline. I kind of wanted a more like forward pompadour look, and I kind of ended up with the 70s looking Hulk kind of a haircut. Don't love it, but it's fine though, it works. I bet, as you can guess, the inspiration for my background is pure rage. I like to usually keep my backgrounds pretty simple unless I have an idea for them, like a very specific idea. But nothing says Hulk like rage, red, anger, rock music. And just always remember, the devil's in the details. I do like the change they made to the eyes, the small pupil, the kind of more intense look. It definitely changed him right at the end, and that was for the better. So, what do you think? I really like how it came out. He's a little rough, he's a little rugged. I like all the little marks that I put on it. He really finished well. And my question to you is, do you like the Hulk? How do you deal with the Hulk? What is your main, and what do you like to play? I'll be here all week. I'm going to start another painting, and please come back if you like what you see. I'm Paint Chips, and I will see you next time.